Hello everybody, I'm going to introduce you to my project where I combine my passion and fascination for food and the water problem on the Campine Plateau. For the location of my pixel is located on the right top corner of the Campine Plateau near the village of Nerutere and Oppitter. And start of the Valley of the Maas. If we look at the Ferraris map, we can see on the left side the Campine Plateau, and on the edge of the Campine Plateau there was already arable land where they practice agriculture. On the right side there is meres and lake and marshlands of the Valley of the Maas. In the elevation map, we can clearly see the borderline of the Campine Plateau that lays around 76 meters, and the Valley of the Maas on the right top corner at 35 meters, so it's really downhill, and the canal flows right on the edge of the Campine Plateau. If we look at the model map, we can see the Zuid-Willemsvaart is crossing right through my pixel. Then there is the Bosbeek, the Witbeek and the Idderbeek that run through the villages of Nerutere and Oppitter. My pixel exists mainly of farmlands, especially the very water intensive crops, forage crops like corn, wheat and grass pasture. So there's almost no room left for the surface water or the water to infiltrate the ground. Second problem, the water that can infiltrate the ground, the farmers pump it out of the ground so they completely dry out the landscape. So on the edge of the plateau has almost no room for surface water. They also extract the remaining water from the canal. So the current situation is a lot of the water is going to the crops and the pumps from the farmer, and the rest is flowing to the canal. And I see a potential situation to solve this problem to use water-friendly crops and build water buffers alongside the Campine Plateau to infiltrate the water. So to bring back the food concept, we have to completely delete the modern farmers that is droughting the landscape. We have to look for new farming culture in balance with the water system to bring a new food balance for the future on the table and the market. First, we have to steer the natural water system, and I looked at the water flow map from how the water is running down from the Campine Plateau right before the canal, the little water streams. Then I see two potential solutions to solve this water problem, and that is to use the canal as a water barrier, and the water that comes from the Campine Plateau that hits the canal to let it infiltrate in the ground right before it goes into the canal. Here we can clearly see how the water is flowing down from the Campine Plateau and the two little hills to the canal. So I create a wetland. I see the possibility to create a wetland alongside right before the canal, so the water can infiltrate the ground there, and the groundwater at the top of the plateau rises. Another possibility is to integrate cascades into the edge of the Campine Plateau to buffer the water and let the water that comes from the Campine Plateau infiltrate in the ground a little bit higher up before it reaches the canal. Here we see the section on how the cascades are integrated into the landscape, where the water can infiltrate the ground a little bit higher up the plateau. The cascades will be mainly integrated alongside the elevation lines of the landscape. After we have integrated this new water system, we have to use different kind of cultures instead of the normal agriculture. One of that is politiculture, a water-based farming system to utilize, enrich, save the landscape. This polyculture brings a whole new palette of food, animals, and materials to the people. We can plant cranberries, veenbruin, watermint, enzovoort. We can plant azolla, that's a great opportunity to feed animals and water buffaloes who can give buffalo milk and buffalo cheese. And we can plant material plants. The second culture is agroforestry. That's different types of trees planted to improve the organic matter and composition of the soil. It brings a source of different food and variations to the people, and it can be placed alongside this polyculture. This culture brings also a lot of new opportunities to feed the people and animals, like forest fruit, chestnuts, forest with walnut, fruit trees, a whole new assortment we can live off in the future. This agroforestry is good for all sorts of things. Trees pure the air. The trees can also be used for building materials. The trees can trees can be food and medicine. It gives shade of other plants. It protects against soil erosion, and it fixes the nitrogen in the ground, and animals can be fed. Thank you for your attention of my presentation. Now we have to look at the design I made of this location and the water problem.